Excuse me. Excuse me. Time.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Tony P, and welcome back to another episode of Fresh Drop Friday, where we review music every other Friday. Look, I try my best, guys. It's fucking coronavirus outside. I can't record every Friday. Plus, I'm an essential worker. Niggas still out here, doing the 9 to 5 stuff. I was trying to get off like y'all too. No cap. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying my best. But look, I ain't gonna give you guys a sob story. We gonna get straight into it. Let's go. First up, got the brand new project 38 Baby 2 coming from NBA Youngboy, the sequel to his, of course, highly touted 38 Baby. Basically keeping in the same lane as that project. It actually starts off pretty cool with the song About My Business. It starts off with a phone call to NBA Youngboy's grandfather, which is it's very heartfelt, really cool way to start it off. And also what's really cool about this song is it actually features his mom, who was also a rapper in Baton Rouge, Sharonda Goldman. So shouts out to Mama for getting on the track. The mix on it was unusually bad, and the vocals just sounded louder than the beat, which just seemed like a really weird flaw to have at the beginning of your project. But as the project continues, it's actually still very solid. NBA Youngboy definitely is able to keep a consistent sound. For those who are familiar with NBA Youngboy's sound, his content definitely stays more in the lanes of kind of like a lot of retelling of his street life, what he's experienced, what he's gone through, along with, of course, the flexing of today, jewelry, cars, kind of just dealing with life in the industry now. And of course, impending violence to and from the opposition in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And anybody who knows anything about Baton Rouge, Louisiana, definitely one of the more dangerous places in Louisiana, I believe, in the United States. So you can only imagine things he's gone through during that time period. But that's really where the content really stays in his lane. His production really stays in that heavy trap with a spice of like acoustic guitar every once in a while that he's known for when it comes to production. Also, he doesn't have a lot of features on here. Of course, from his mom and his grandfather, he's really only showcasing a feature from Charlotte's own DaBaby. Falls up, you already know what the fuck going on. Yeah, other than that, the project in itself is solid. It's not a bad project. It actually is one of the more polished I've ever heard NBA Youngboy sound. I was actually pretty impressed by his rapping abilities on the song Northside. He showcases his ability to flow a little bit more than usual in that in this particular song. Again, nothing too crazy. I think it definitely gives you a glimpse into his abilities as a rap artist, to at least be able to flow and sound good. I definitely was pretty impressed with that. But other than that, it is a typical NBA Youngboy project. If you heard one NBA Youngboy project, you kind of heard them all. But this is definitely one of the higher quality ones for sure. So on first listen, I think I'm definitely going to give this one a 3.5. It's up there. I definitely see Youngboy doing his thing, staying consistent, always dropping. That's the one thing about NBA Youngboy is that he's always dropping a project. So I definitely look forward to hearing more from him, and I can see the growth happening. I definitely like to see a little bit more when it comes to I guess the technique of his rapping abilities. But as far as I know, NBA Youngboy solid. So yeah, I think I'm definitely feeling a 3.5 for this one. Next up, we got 800 BC from Brooklyn-born Fivio Foreign. This project, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't impressed. It got really repetitive, really fast. Fivio Foreign is one of the guys from New York that's taken on that NY drill sound that really stemmed from the UK. I've spoken about it before. I'm not really the biggest fan of that sound. With this project only being 8 songs with a runtime of about 24 minutes, you don't really get any variation in the songs other than his big single, Big Drip, which is the song that put him on. All the other songs really just sound like Big Drip. And I know it's one of those situations where it might be, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I don't really see this working to begin with. I mean, it might be cool for now as a niche sound, but I don't really see this being a continuation as we start heading further on in the year. The content in itself really just stems from flexing, fucking bitches, drug use, and of course, running down on the ops, finding the ops. That's really the extent you get with content, so nothing really too deep, which isn't a problem. But again, if there's little to no variation in the production, it's really just the same song over and over again. I think in this day and age, we're starting to catch on to that, and it's not that idea of making the same song over and over again is not really catching people like it used to. So Other than that, what this project does boast is some pretty solid features. Quavo's on here, Lil TJ, as well as a hard-ass verse from Meek Mill. Those are really the highlights. Is really the features and it changing up to showcase some new people on here. But other than that, there's not really too much, not really too much about this project to really speak on. On first listen, I'm probably giving this maybe a 2.5, 2.75. Yeah, just not really my thing. Next up, we got the brand new project Hood Baby 2 from YSL's own Lil Gotit. I must admit, Lil Gotit has slowly grown on me. Pause. As an artist, I do like Lil Gotit. I've slowly but surely started really getting into his sound, his ability to make these really catchy songs. He's basically like a Young Thug 2.0, which is pretty cool. He carries the same cadence. He carries the same, almost the same aesthetic when he's rapping. And if you're a fan of Young Thug, I am a fan of Young Thug. You would be a fan of Gotit as well. I would honestly say God would probably be the perfect successor to Young Thug, and a lot of people would say that it would actually be. A lot of people would say that it would actually be Lil Gotit's little brother, Lil Keed. I know. They would say Thug was actually grooming Lil Keed to be that successor, but honestly, when you really look into the sound, Gotit is way more consistent with his sound and just his output overall as an artist. Gotit just has it, man. You could tell he definitely takes his time when it comes to making these songs. While they might be easily digestible, his execution is actually very impressive for an artist like him in that lane. So I really got to give it to Gotit on that. But Hood Baby 2 is really a dope project, probably the most polished that Gotit has sound since he's been out. There'd be the hard-hitting production on up top to bottom. It starts off hard with Bricks in the Attic, goes into Off-White, featuring Lil Keed. A bunch of features on here. Has Lil Keed, has Future on here. Nice feature from Lil Yachty. He has a bunch of other artists on there that I'm not really familiar with, so I won't really go too much detail, but they, they all respectively did their things, which I can appreciate Lil Gotit for doing. He definitely utilized all his features very well. Content stays in the same, flexing, drug use, yada, 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 etc., etc. So, nothing new there, but Gotit does it well enough to where it doesn't get very stale. So I definitely got to give it to him on that front. Honestly, that's really it. On first listen, I really got to give this I'm giving this about a 3.5, 3.75. I am very impressed. I'm very impressed with it. I mean, it's still a little Gotit project. It's not bringing anything crazy new to the table. However, it's definitely the best project he's released since he's been doing his thing. So I'm excited to see what Gotit takes it this year. So yeah, 3.75. And last but not least, we have To Feel Alive, the EP from Virginia's own Kali Uchis. This project is a bit underwhelming. It's an EP, only 4 songs. It doesn't give you enough to really work with, and it just doesn't, it's not the best I've heard Kali sound. It honestly sounds a bit uninspired. The vocals are just not they're not hitting a threshold that we're used to seeing Kali. And Kali, I really feel like has a very sensual voice, very nice, almost very old, like an old 80s singer. She definitely has that vibe of an old 80s, I won't say disco, but definitely like old 80s smooth jazz type singing. She has a very lovely voice, and it doesn't hit like it usually does for this project. The production on here, very airy, very simple, nothing crazy on that front. It doesn't hit like it usually does. I guess it's when you get used to hearing her with Tyler, the Creator, and acts like that, you kind of expect a little bit more from her. Even beforehand, I've heard projects from her where she's doing her thing vocally, but this just didn't catch me like it usually does. I will admit that on her song I Want War, she does get into a little Sade bag, which does sound nice for that moment, but it's not carried out throughout the whole project, and I don't know, it just left me underwhelmed, unfortunately. And I would say I do like Kali Uchis' voice and the song she's done. This one just didn't really catch me like it usually does. So on first listen, I'm probably gonna give this like a 2.75. Just expect a little bit more. And that's going to wrap up this episode of Fresh Drop Friday. I appreciate you guys checking in with us. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe to the TAJ channel. Guys, if you're our artist or you know an artist that would like their music reviewed on this channel, please make sure you shoot us a message on Facebook at the TAJ Channel. Hit us up on Instagram at 4 ever EVER .Taj TAJ. Follow us, send us a message. We'll follow you right back, get right back to you, and we'll get it worked out. We'll do some reviewing for you because again, we want you guys to get better like we want you guys want us to get better because we love y'all and we hope you love us. Thank y'all so much. Peace.